Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Once again, welcome to our stream of Festival Fun Facts. My name is Dennis Argel, and I have the pleasure and the privilege of being the director of the New Jersey State Solo and Ensemble Festival. It's the maiden voyage that we just completed in March of our first festival, and we are in the throes of registration for the Spring and State Festival. Just a little background for those of you tuning in for the first time. We designed this festival in the state of New Jersey for students who wanted to participate grades 6 through 12 in solo literature or small ensemble literature up to and including 30 musicians. We did this in an effort with Arts Ed New Jersey and Bob Morrison and the team there to provide students an opportunity to perform and hone their craft and skills with so many different things, with region, all state, and other ensemble activities being canceled for obvious reasons with the medical challenges we're having with COVID-19. We decided to put together this event to showcase student talent and give them an opportunity to set a goal and try to meet it on the musical standpoint. We have some terrific judges that provided feedback. We had just about 1,000 students register for the Winter Festival with over 900 video submissions in all kinds of categories, solo and ensemble voice and instrumental music and jazz and modern music. And we had one string ensemble and one show choir. So we're really trying to expand the horizons there. And the last several weeks, as a way to recognize the accomplishments of those students who participated in the Winter Festival, the Fall and Winter Festival, and also to kind of get the ball rolling with interest and more activity with knowledge of what's going on for the State/Spring Festival. We're holding these live streams on Wednesday night that I get the pleasure to host. This is the 5th, I believe, in the series, and tonight I have the pleasure of hosting the students who received gold 1-star ratings in vocal performance, classical voice performance. Now, there were 8 total students who received that rating, but unfortunately, because of scheduling and spring breaks and rehearsals, concerts, there's about 4 of them that are going to be with us this evening, and I'm going to bring the first group on in a couple of minutes. Just a couple other deadlines and announcements I want to share. So if you've been paying attention and looking to register and participate in the Spring/State, and I keep saying /State, and I'll explain that in a moment, festival, you all know that registration is tomorrow. The deadline is over, right? Well, I have some news. We're going to extend the deadline. The deadline is extended until Sunday night, 11:59. And the reason we're doing that is we're getting tons and tons of registrations and questions coming in because of spring break. There's some folks that need some extra time getting their plans and registration forms together. So we're going to extend that deadline until Sunday night. Along with that, there are some folks that are still filling out and submitting their permission requests form. If you know what that is, that means if you want your student or a student wants to perform something that's not on our approved repertoire list, there's a very simple form, a document to be completed called the permission request form, and students are to complete that and submit it. Now, the deadline for that was last week, but since we're extending the deadline for registration, we're extending this into the weekend as well. I just posted the website for anybody who's interested on more information and getting that information. And like I said, we're going to be open for business through Sunday. We still have scholarships available for any student who is challenged by the registration fee. It's a very simple document that needs to be completed by their teacher. Just indicate to us the need of the student, and no scholarship has been turned away. We're very, very fortunate. The Grunin Foundation has been able to supply us with scholarships for any student that cannot meet their need, and no student will be turned away because of financial challenges. The last thing I want to share now before introducing our first guests is don't forget that even though registration closes this weekend, video submissions and PDF submissions of your scores and your videos are not due until May 1st through the 15th. So we still have the entire month or 3 weeks to get that ready before you start to submit. Okay? If you have any questions along the way, you can plop them in the comments, and hopefully I'll be able to balance it and see you. Again, my name is Dennis Argel. You can contact me at this website, at this email address, artsednj.org, and I'll be happy to answer any and all of your questions. All right, so let's get down to business here. Yes, like I said, we have our gold 1-star recipients in the area of vocal performance and classical voice. And I have the pleasure and the privilege of announcing our first student and her teacher to our studio. And this young lady's name is Alyssa Tanti, and her teacher is Miss Jennifer Jessen, and they come to us from Cedar Grove High School. Good evening, ladies, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
Congratulations to Alyssa.
Thank you.
Very, very welcome. And we had a couple of moments before we went to live here, and I said to Alyssa, you must be so happy you scored a perfect score of 30, and she kind of went, and she didn't know, and I was like, oh my goodness, what great news to share. So Alyssa, congratulations, you got a perfect score in the highest level of repertoire, A-level repertoire, and got a gold rating. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Ms. Jessen, I'm sure she didn't make this journey alone. I know she had a great support group with you and your team at Cedar Grove. So I don't want to talk too much. I want to kind of turn it over to you. And so tell us, how did you find out about the New Jersey State Solo and Ensemble Festival, guys?
We've been pretty active in following Arts Ed New Jersey.
Okay.
And we really like all the advocacy. We have a really strong parent group at Cedar Grove High School called Music Matters, and they were supportive of paying the student registration fees and also purchasing repertoire that might be required. And Alyssa also takes voice lessons. So her voice lesson teacher, you should probably mention her name too, was a great deal of help.
Yeah, she really helped me out with this.
You kind of have a funny story about the Italian. I think you should tell it.
Absolutely. So, before we get to that, what did you sing? What did you perform for the festival?
I performed much more in Say Tu Mommy.
Okay. So tell us this funny Italian story.
So for the Italian, I've never performed an opera for anyone in real life or anywhere. So I was really nervous about it, and I felt like I kept messing up, but I guess not.
Okay. Why did you feel you were messing up?
Because I haven't done it for a long time. I've only done it for a couple weeks.
Awesome. Okay. So was your adjudicator Miss Lyons, Christine Lyons?
No. Wait, what does that mean? Sorry.
Your judge, the judge that gave you feedback. Do you know? Were you able to listen to the feedback from the judge?
No.
Oh my goodness, we got to get you to the site. Oh, we got to talk, you and I. You didn't know your score. You didn't know your. All right. So on Competition Suite, let's talk about that. Is your let me ask you a question because I got a couple of comments here. Is your vocal teacher Miss Grace Huey?
Oh no, that's my friend.
Okay, hi, Alyssa's friend Grace. She said Alyssa is very talented. She deserves every amazing opportunity she gets. So I've only met her for a couple of minutes, and I feel that way. So Grace definitely has your back. Somebody else named Natalie says hey. So hi, yay, Alyssa. So good for you. So let's talk about Competition Suite. Miss Jessen tells you about this festival, and obviously you have to upload a video of you singing, right? So could you tell us a little bit about that process? How that went?
Well, it was pretty easy, just recording everything and just uploading it. I didn't really find any problems with it.
Okay. What did you think, Miss Jessen? Did it pose a challenge for us as teachers to get our students to do this?
I mean, once I spent some time on the website and the rules and regulations and the lists, I was able to, talk with the students about that and help them make some decisions about what to sing, because there was required lists, right? And I know we could get permission, but really Alyssa, is going to major in probably music and music theater. And so this is a great opportunity for her, even if it is, recording. She's got a great head start for when she enters as a freshman with the music program.
Awesome. Alyssa, are you a senior at Cedar Grove?
I'm a junior.
Okay. So you're being inundated now with all these choices for right? Come here, give us your money, go to college here, right?
Yeah, because I have like a college prep coach, so they're helping me out with that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And so I'm assuming, based on Miss Jessen's information, it looks like you're going to be pursuing a post-secondary training in vocal performance. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
Okay. Classical or theater or a mix? What's your vision?
I want to do it all.
That a girl.
Good for you. Good for you. Now the tough part's going to find a vocal studio that's going to allow that to happen. But I wish you luck with that, because everybody's so possessive in the vocal world. No, you can't do Broadway. You do classical. But that sounds great. So how did you select, with all those titles? How did you select those titles to perform? Did you guys work on that together?
No. Like I worked with my singing teacher on like what to pick out, and we're like, let's just pick like one of the best songs, So we did, and that was much more. And then she just gave me Say to Mommy.
Okay. What did you feel about? Because I know the students were asked before they performed their selections, they were asked to do an introduction, like who they were, where they came from, what they were singing, give a little bit of story about that. Did you find that process challenging at all? Or was it natural for you to just speak to the camera and provide that?
I thought it was natural. I think I'm a pretty open person.
Okay, great. Can I ask you a question about how many takes it took for you to feel comfortable with submitting the video? Did you do it a lot, or did you get it on the first take?
I did much more, like 3 times, and then for the Say to Mommy, I did that way more because I kept panicking.
Okay. Yeah, one of the things of those folks that are watching, I'm sure Miss Jessen had, the guidance that you may have provided for Alyssa. There was no editing allowed for the recording, so you had to do it all in one take. So that, as challenging as that is, one of the good things that I hope students learn during this process is the self-assessment that goes into like really getting into the weeds with, how was that phrase, and how was my pronunciation and diction, and, my intonation, and did I, was I as fluid and legato as I should be, or vice versa, So was it the language that made you do more takes, or was it the piece, Alyssa? What did you think?
I think it was a mix of both, because the words obviously were harder than English because I don't speak Italian. And then I guess for the tune, it was easier for me to memorize that because I have like a better ear than like memorizing words. Okay.
But Miss Jessen, so and you're the vocal teacher at Cedar Grove. Is that what's your responsibilities there?
Choir, band, drama, and yes. Alyssa is also in the performing arts workshop class, and that's awesome. Yeah, so she's got a lot of experience submitting these recordings. She also won several awards in our Speech and Theater Association of New Jersey and the Thespian Festival. Yeah, we're really proud of her.
Yeah, with Arts Ed, you know the organization, the Thespians organization. Stange is big proponents. When I was a supervisor in Elizabeth, I was a member of Stange for 6 years. Great association. I wasn't a member of the Thespians group, but they do great work there. And they're also holding a virtual festival this year, are they not?
Yes.
Yeah, great, awesome. And your Ms. Jessen told us earlier, Alyssa, that you've got something due tomorrow.
Yeah.
Anything else? What is that going on? What are you doing?
It's the Paper Mill Rising Star Award.
Woo-hoo! Awesome.
Yeah.
And what are you singing for that? Not Say to Mommy.
No, I'm singing Dear Friend from She Loves Me.
Awesome. So you're really expanding the spectrum and the horizons of your repertoire. That's terrific.
Yeah, I have more contemporary now.
That's right. Well, can I ask you both a question? I'll start with Ms. Jessen. So, there's teachers, I'm sure, that in a quote unquote normal year may not get to the kind of solo repertoire that some programs get to, and I know that this year and this festival may have provided that opportunity. So, if there's teachers out there, and then I'll ask Alyssa for students who may be a little, there might be some trepidation still with just a few days left to register to enter the festival. Is there any words of advice that you may give them to to feel like it's a good thing to do, or it's a good thing to try to do, or what's your thoughts?
I think so many students, want feedback, and they need that from people besides me. I know my students, I love it when they go out and take lessons and, work with other directors, do region, all state. I feel like, we need to use Alyssa as a role model, if she's willing, to encourage some of her classmates to continue to do this festival. And they do sing a lot of solos. And so this is an opportunity for them to get feedback.
That's awesome. What do you think, Alyssa? What do you tell the students out there who are looking to make a decision about it?
Every experience should be a good experience, because even if you don't score the best, you know how to fix it for next time.
Okay.
So I think everyone should just try it at least.
Gotcha. Well, that's wonderful. So can I coax you into singing a little bit for us this evening? I'll put you on the spot. Would you like to share a little bit of your selection with us?
Okay, so should I sing much more?
This is your time, kiddo.
Okay. Should I do a karaoke track, or I don't know?
If you're prepared with it, sure.
I could find one.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
I'll just do a little bit of it, a little taste.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I love it.
I'd like to swim in a clear blue stream where the water is icy cold. Then go to town in a golden gown and have my fortune told. Just once before I'm old. I'd like to be not evil, but a little worldly wise, to be the kind of girl designed to be kissed upon the eyes. I think that's good.
Whoa, that's amazing. That's right. Yes, absolutely. Now I know why Miss Jessen said, do it, go for it all, do it all. That's awesome. What a beautiful voice. Great instrument.
Thank you.
And without any kind of warm up or just jumping right in there. That's wonderful. So it was a pleasure to meet you both. I look forward to your participation in the so let me explain again to the folks that might be listening for the first time. So Alyssa and the other young ladies and gentlemen who are going to be on this evening, since they rated a gold 1 star, which means they got between a 28 and a 30 out of 30 points on their ratings for the spring festival, the fall festival, in the hardest area of repertoire, the Class A repertoire, they were invited to perform for the state, which is to recognize the highest levels of students. 162 of those students will be in the state festival. This is one of those 162, and there were 8 vocal students. So she's one of the lucky 8. Hoping we get some more folks this time in the vocal category, but we just really wanted to recognize those students that achieve that level. So thank you again, Alyssa, for joining us tonight. Thank you so much, Ms. Jessen, again.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.
I wish you both the best for the remainder of your academic year. Good luck with your submission tomorrow, Alyssa.
Thank you.
And I hope to be able to see your video for the state festival. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Take care, guys. Good night.
Bye.
All right. Let us bring on our next guests. And they are from Hillsborough High School. And the student's name is Kelly Irwin. And she is accompanied this evening by her teacher, Miss Ashley Foster. Hi, guys. Good evening.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi.
I'm great. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Hi, Kelly. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And thank you also for adjusting your time. I have to explain to some folks who may be expecting me. One of our guests this evening, a student from J.P. Stevens, and her teacher, Mr. Lee, unfortunately had a change in their schedule and were not able to join us. So I reached out to Ms. Foster earlier tonight and said, can you get here early? So we can spend some more time together. So that's wonderful. Hopefully you had a chance to watch me speak to Alyssa and Ms. Jessen from Cedar Grove. Let's start off with your journey, Ms. Kelly and Ms. Foster. If you could talk to us about, how you found out about the festival and how you enrolled and all that stuff, it'd be wonderful to hear.
Sure. Kelly, do you want to start, or do you want me to take it first?
You can start.
Okay, cool. I'll start, and then you jump off what I missed. Sound good? Okay, cool. So yeah, I received an email, just explaining that given the fact that the students didn't have the typical region and all-state opportunities that they usually have, this festival was put together to hopefully provide some sort of performance opportunity for them. And stepping into the new role here at Hillsborough, this is my first year with these students too. So it's been quite a journey. They've been awesome, but it's been quite a journey trying to, get our feet on the ground and then keep things business as usual. So having a festival like this for the students to participate in was just a really, really great thing to offer them. So I pushed it out to the students, and Kel, if you want to take it from here.
So when Ms. Foster sent the email, I was obviously really interested because a lot of the events that I've normally done in the past were canceled. So I used to be a part of Regents in all states. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that this year. So it was really nice to be able to have an opportunity to perform in a different setting that I'm obviously used to. The virtual setting is very different, but it's all, taking changes and making it happen. But it was a really incredible experience. And I'm glad that I was able to have an experience to perform still.
Very cool. That's great. Great. Luke, can I ask you a question? When selecting the repertoire for what you wanted to record and submit, did you ask for permission for something that wasn't on the list? Did you check out something that was? How did that process go for you?
Well, I actually just started learning classical music, so I only had a couple songs that were on my list, and it happened to be that the song that I chose was on it, so it just worked out well.
What was it? What'd you pick?
I picked Lachen und Weinen by Franz Schubert.
Wow. So you did a German art song?
Yeah.
In German. And what's your experience with German before that?
My grandparents are actually from Germany, so I have a little bit of experience. I don't speak fluently or anything, but that I guess was a little bit helpful. And my voice teacher studied German, so she helped me with all the pronunciation, diction.
It's wonderful. Yeah, challenging language to sing. Yes. Yeah,
very challenging.
Sounds like you had some homegrown vocal coaches there to help you out with that.
Yeah.
Great.
That's wonderful. So when you say not used to singing classical or new to classical, how new? When did you start diving into that genre?
I just started this past summer, towards the end of the summer, when I decided I wanted to go into music education. So I'm just trying to prepare myself.
One of us.
That's right. Crazy like us. I mean, my God, what is your year in school, Kelly?
I'm a junior.
A junior. I mean, I could barely speak English as a junior, much less sing in German as art song. That's amazing. So Miss Foster, when she said she was going to sing Schubert, did you go, "Oh, you sure?" Or you're ready, Kelly? Let's go for it.
No, so Kelly, her journey to studying classically is really similar to mine. Actually, I started around the same time too. I was a late bloomer in the music ed world. But I knew she studied classically. She's in one of our top auditioned ensembles at the high school. And we started a new ensemble that she's a founding member of that was also auditioned. It's a smaller kind of chamber style setting where they study all different sorts of genres of music. And so, I was confident in my predecessor's analysis of her capability by putting her in these ensembles. And so when she came to me and said, here, Miss Foster, here's my piece, I was like, all right, I trust your judgment and let's go for it. So
Great. And Kelly, why that piece?
I honestly don't really know. I looked at a bunch of songs when I was first choosing the first song I was going to look at. And I guess that song kind of spoke to me. It's kind of like a fun song. It's not like too serious. It's really lighthearted. And it's fun to perform. It's a challenge, but definitely a fun piece.
Awesome. Let's start talking a little bit about the recording process and then the submission process, what you went through for that. So Can you share how much did you practice for it, and how many takes did it take for you to feel like this is the one I want to submit, and how did that go for you?
Well, I think I practiced like basically every day leading up to the time I was recording, trying to make it as good as possible. And I'm still practicing for the state festival. But so I think the day that I recorded it, I probably took around like 15 to 20 video recordings, and then because I just like to keep on recording and then listen to a couple and then fix what I heard and then try to record again and then choose the best take from that. So it took a couple hours to get my best recording, but
Sure.
yeah.
Sure. Very cool. Ms. Foster, did she have to submit to you for further review before submission, or did you leave it up to her to kind of use her own discretion? What was that process for you?
Sure. So she sent me her video just to look at, but my experience with most students is they can be a little bit more critical of themselves than we as directors would even be.
Yeah.
So when I went through and I listened to it, I think she's got a beautiful instrument, especially being so new, quote unquote, to this classical performance realm. And I think she did a really lovely job with the piece and felt really comfortable moving forward with it. I didn't have many notes. Kelly's very musical, so she's an inherently musical musician, and so she knows when to pull through the phrase and when to put the cutoff on the downbeats and things like that. So I didn't really have to do much. It was kind of nice. So thanks, Cal, for making my job easy.
That's great. That's great. So, and Kelly, did you get a chance to, or both of you, did you get a chance to listen to the feedback of the adjudicator? I'm assuming it was Christine Lyons was your adjudicator, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
What was that process like for you? How did you feel about that?
So I didn't even know that the feedback was going to be in that format, but I really liked how you could listen to your own voice as she like commented. It was really helpful to see like she's hearing it, her thoughts like immediately. And I definitely applied like her comments afterwards and try to fix what she said to fix, like in regards to my diction. And yeah, it was really helpful overall.
It's awesome. It's awesome. Did you download the commentary? You're allowed to download it from the site and keep it. So this way you have like an archive of that experience. So that's kind of cool. Yeah. And I have to share with the folks watching that Kelly scored a 28 out of 30 on the gold 1-star rubric. And so just for the folks that are watching, that's right. Absolutely. Yeah. So there were 3 categories. So folks were watching. So this tone, quality, and intonation was the first category. Technique was the second category, and musicianship was the third. And we designed that rubric for all the instruments, vocal performance down to tuba to jazz ensemble, and because we thought all 3 of those worlds belong to every instrument, and then we just use vocabulary specific explainers, adjectives to the voice versus a saxophone, let's say. So did you guys, was it helpful, the scoring? I mean, we're always Art said we're trying to make the experience better moving forward for the students especially, right? But also the teachers, because we want to be able to support what it is we're doing in the classroom. So did you guys feel the rubric and the scoring, besides the commentary from the professional, was it helpful? Did it help you kind of gauge where you were in that performance?
Kelly, you want to take that, and then I'll piggyback off what you got? Yeah,
I liked how it was separated into the 3 categories. I think it was helpful to see like where I could use improvement in like the certain areas. So I thought it was really well organized.
Yeah, I agree. When we talk about assessing the students in an all-state format or a region format, it's very similar in the way that we assess them. So I liked that, they had very tangible, this is something that was great, and this is a certain category that I can look to improve upon. So
Gotcha. Well, I may be calling upon your assistance, Ms. Foster, as we move forward. I want to expand our rubric writing team. And
sure.
We were very fortunate this year, the state of Wisconsin, as we were trying to build this festival, the Wisconsin State Music Association worked with us at Arts Ed New Jersey, and they kind of loaned us their repertoire list because we haven't had one.
Right.
11,000 titles on that list. So we have, exactly. So we have to work to try to build that kind of a list. And I know that region and all state, with all the benefits that come with it, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, you have one selection that you need to sing.
Right.
So there's not a lot of choice. And I do like the fact that, our previous guest sang an Italian aria and you're singing a German art song, and, if you want to sing French or English, that's fine too. So I think it's great to have that kind of variety from which to choose. And then it's at the discretion. And I see it's a beautiful thing to watch this relationship with the two of you. Like, you want to go first and I'll piggyback? Oh, she can handle it. And obviously there's symbiosis here and the great teacher-student relationship that we want to leave it up to the directors and the students to pick what's going to challenge them while still setting them up for success. And I think that was something that you guys consciously went with. So that's beautiful. It's great.
I think it's great too that you guys, were able to offer so many titles to the students. I know in so many other states, like Florida, Wisconsin, Texas, like big music education states, they have these kinds of opportunities for students, and it's really great that we've been able to have the ability to offer it to students in New Jersey, because there's so many schools and so many young singers, to give them the chance has just been really, really wonderful. So thank you for providing that opportunity.
Absolutely. Kelly, how do you feel about that? You're happy about that?
Yeah, it's a great experience to be able to perform and just have as many experiences as you guys are giving. So.
Yeah. We felt so bad, last year around now, when everybody knew that 2 weeks that everybody was sent home with for spring break. Oh, get ready for 2 weeks worth of extra lessons, and we'll be back in the middle of April, and everybody started shaking their head like you're doing, like
It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and more things. Just those poor kids that didn't have a graduation, didn't have a spring concert, didn't have a musical, didn't have. We were over the summer at Arts Ed when we were working on the September Ready Task Force, going, how can we? What can we do? Can we do anything? Right. And then working, luckily, with the National Federation of High Schools, they were really the ones that said, well, talk to these other folks that are doing, like you mentioned, these festivals, and everybody was so kind. State of Wisconsin with the rep list, and Indiana with Music for All supporting the registrations and competition suite. And this thing is not built quickly. It took a lot of work. So it was just wonderful. And hearing stories like Kelly's and earlier Alyssa and some of the students we have coming on, is just great to hear that that work is paying off. So
definitely.
So Kelly, I don't know if I want to impress upon you, but would you mind singing a little bit of your solo?
Yeah. And ahead of time, so I have the track ready. Great.
Yay.
So this is Lachen und Weinen by Franz Schubert.
Yes, the spin. Lovely spin, Kelly. Really pretty.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I don't know this. I don't know the piece. I know some of the dark stuff that Schubert has done for voice. I'm kind of married to that as a bass trombonist. I like the typical Earl King and the greatest hits. But that's exactly that's what I don't know. But I'm definitely going to study. I'm definitely going to learn that one. You did a lovely job, like Miss Foster said, the spin and the control, and obviously, I hope Grandma and Grandpa would be proud of that diction. I certainly would. That's awesome. That's awesome. Let me ask you one more question. Our next guests are almost. It's time to bring them on as well. But one of the things as a singer, and I studied. I went for voice for my master's degree. But I'm a bass trombonist, but I was a choir director at one point in my life. When you're singing, a lot of the delivery of the song is really incumbent upon the audience being there, right? So you can deliver this message, right? Because you are your instrument. It's not like you're playing to a music stand and you can kind of bury yourself in that experience with the music. You just sang to your camera, your computer, right? So how was that experience for you as a young student to prepare that for this device rather than an audience of people? Was that different?
It definitely is a lot different. Because when you're thinking about I feel like when I perform in front of people, it's like you see the reactions. So if you see something like a bad reaction, you kind of react to that. It should be negative, I guess. Definitely nerve-wracking. But I think you just really are able to feed off of the energy of the audience. So I guess recording in front of a camera, it's more like you're performing for yourself in a way. So it's sort of like you're practicing just with the camera there. So in terms of energy, you really have to think about it, I guess, and really I'll have to tell myself, okay, make sure to smile. This isn't just practicing, it's
right.
for an audience, a virtual audience. So it's just having to keep that mindset while recording.
Well, I'm sure you don't get a lot of faces while you sing. That's for sure. I don't think there's a lot of that going on, Kelly. So Ms. Foster and Kelly, you guys are registered for the state festival?
Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. I'm excited.
You have some more colleagues joining us this spring, you think?
I hope so. I've reached out to several of my colleagues and been impressed upon them how great of an opportunity this was for the students. So hopefully they take my email and run with it.
Well, thanks very much, guys. It was a pleasure to meet you, Kelly. Ms. Foster, it was a pleasure to see you again. Thank you so much for being with us. I wish you good luck in the next step of the festival, and hopefully we'll see each other again in the future, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night, guys.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have our next guest. It was so wonderful to hear that German after the Italian aria earlier. With us tonight, finishing up our Gold 1-Star vocal category students, we have Annika Mukherjee and Mr. Matthew Wolf from Ramsey High School.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. We actually are just on the tail end of a concert we just put on tonight. Annika was part of that.
It's so crazy. I mean, I'm really so thankful that you guys agreed to be here in spite of that. You must be exhausted, first of all. Are you?
Yeah, it was about what, 10 minutes ago we saw each other, Annika?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
So, Annika, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you too.
How are you? You're a soprano, yes?
Yes, I'm a soprano.
All right, awesome. Mr. Wolf and I go way back to 3 episodes now. We're seeing each other every week, it seems.
I know.
Yeah. Is Brandon going to be with us this evening?
He is not, actually. He's having some difficulties right now. He's not able to get on, but
oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Did he perform for the recital?
He was not able to, unfortunately. No.
I'm so sorry.
I know.
Yeah. I just want to mention, anybody who's watching was expecting Brandon. Brandon Wong was another student from Ramsey High School. We were fortunate to have him on with Mr. Wolf a couple of weeks ago. Last week?
It was last week. Or no,
last week. My goodness.
Yeah, I know. Time flies, right?
Exactly. He was one of the 8 students in the state that received Gold Star ratings in 2 categories: vocal performance as a tenor and also on piano. So we get some extra time with Annika this evening. Am I pronouncing? Is it Annika or Annika?
It's Annika.
Awesome. Good. And it's Dennis. It's just, you're going to destroy Argle. It's an awful name. It's okay. Ignore that part. Sorry, Dan. So Annika, what did you sing for the festival? What was your piece?
I sang An die Musik by Schubert.
Yeah. So we just had a Schubert performance.
I was
Did you hear it?
listening.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that what you sang this evening also?
Yes, I did.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm going to impose upon you in a little while to ask you to sing again. All right.
All right, of course.
Of course. Well, let me leave it to you. Would you like to start with that since you just sang, or you want to wait a little bit?
It's up to you.
What do you say, Mr. Wolf?
She literally just did it about 15, 20 minutes before, so I'm sure she's ready.
Are you warmed up? You ready to go?
Yeah, I'm pretty warmed
Let's
up.
hear a little Andy music from Franz Schubert. Beautiful.
So I just do it like without an accompaniment, or
If you have a recording of there that you'd like to sing to, whatever you're prepared to do. This is your show, kid.
okay. Let me get my karaoke. Okay.
Shopping with Google helps you find whatever you
It's an ad.
We get a nice ad in here too. So
I said, listen, it's America, right? You got to do what you got to do.
Okay.
Du holde Kunst, in wie viel grauen Stunden, wo mich des Lebens will der Kreis verstreckt. Hast du mein Herz zu wollen sondern hast mich in eine bessere Welt entrückt, in eine bessere Welt entrückt. Oft hat ein Seufzer deine Harfe fassen, ein süßer, heiliger Akkord von dir. Dein Himmel besser Zeit an mir erschlossen. Du holde Kunst, ich danke dir dafür. Du holde Kunst, ich danke dir.
Yay! Beautifully done. Beautiful. Wow. Who did you think you'd have to sing that twice in 15 minutes for sure? Right? That's a workout for sure, Annika. What a beautiful instrument. It's wonderful.
Thank you.
What year?
a freshman too, Dennis. A freshman.
Oh, I was just about to ask. Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
That's amazing. As a freshman. So how did you select that piece, Annika?
It was actually weird. Like I didn't like really just like kind of like looked through the repertoire and it kind of just caught my eye and I played it on YouTube and this was like there was like two top choices I was going to do. And so I asked my voice teacher, like, which one should I do, the German one or this other one called Sure on the Shining Night, which was an English piece. So I was like kind of debating, like, I don't really know German that much, so would an English piece be better? But my voice teacher, she's a big fan of Schubert, so she was obviously very biased. She was like, you definitely have to do.
Now, I think the part that Annika's missing too is that I think I sent her at least Sure on the Shining Night, and I'm a huge Arbor fan, so that was one of the reasons why.
There you go. Well, listen, that was a beautiful rendition. German's not my language, but I thought your diction was wonderful. So good for you. Not the easiest. Some of those vowels are not the most easy to shape and make beautiful tones out of. And it sounded wonderful from here. So is Mr. Wolf the one that brought this festival to your attention? And
how
did you find out about it? Talk to us about that.
Well, he I remember there's this it was supposed to initially be like a school assignment, and then he said that there's also, you can actually compete with your song, but you're gonna have to do like a song from the repertoire list. You can't just do a song that you can either like make up or do a pop song. You have to do a song that's like on the list. So I was like, I'll give it a try, because I'm a freshman, so I wanted to try like new things, and then that's just why I did that.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So did you work with Mr. Wolf in the preparation? I know you said you have a vocal teacher, but obviously you had some guidance along the way from your school teacher as well, yes?
Yeah, I think I don't remember.
We did the flip grids, Annika.
We did, yes,
Right.
we did the flip grids.
He did all the work on the flip grids.
Yeah. So Annika's selection through this was facilitated through a project that we ran here back in February, where the students could choose to compete, or they could choose to pick a piece of music they wanted to sing on their own, just to develop their voice a little bit. It was a great chance for me to kind of get individual feedback to the kids. So each week they'd submit a flip grid video of them performing it, and I'd provide feedback back to them, to all 80 of them. So.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, I know it's a lot of work for you, but I'm also glad that this could have been an extension of what you were already doing. Absolutely. And not an added burden for the students or the directors, right? So it's an opportunity for you to put into practice what was going on in your lab of your school setting. So which is great. I love it. I love it. And are you already registered for the state festival, Annika? Will you be performing?
Yes, I am.
Again? Great. Will you be performing the Schubert again, or did you?
I actually chose a different one.
Ah, okay. Did you go with Mr. Wolf's suggestion?
I didn't get this one.
Oh, okay.
It's Domine Deus, Vivaldi.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So we're going back in time a little bit.
Yeah, it's
absolutely
much before Schubert. Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about your recording process and that experience. How much time did you put into it? What were the challenges? What were the successes? Well, obviously we know the successes, but what were the challenges with that process, Annika?
Well, like since I was like recording and this wasn't really an audition, I kept on like redoing it and just to like making it perfect, because I was like, getting paranoid and maybe like I could do this better. So I kind of kept on recording and recording. So then I sent my videos to my voice teacher, and she said, change this, try to record again. So then I was, my voice kind of got tired, so I slept over and then did the next day, and then the next day my voice was more fresh, so that's the day like I recorded maybe 2 times before, and then I submitted that one.
Great. Yeah, so just so folks that are watching it may have tuned in a little bit later, there was no editing of video allowed, so it had to be all in. Just like you heard the take that she did now for us tonight, she had to choose the best overall take to submit. That's okay. Amazon. They're everywhere. Somebody's calling up. I see you on the live stream.
Looking for information on the car insurance or something like
that.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah. That's right.
Car warranty. There we go.
That's right. The warranty. So and you also have to do. Didn't you also have to do an introduction of the piece and introduce yourself and that? That's okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay. Let's hope that doesn't ring again. So what were you saying?
Well, I know that the students were asked to do an introduction of themselves, what school they go to, what year they're in, and talk a little bit about the piece, right? How did you find that process?
I find that I kind of liked that, how like we had to do an introduction, because like my voice teacher like she did really like this piece, and even my Mr. Wolf, he like gave me some like tips on like what to say, because even like he knew that I was kind of struggling like what the special thing about it, because I knew it was like a really pretty piece, but I didn't really know like the background of it. And it was like the background's pretty like interesting, how like it's the melody isn't, or the harmony is pretty simple, and like it's it's more just the meaning behind the words. So that was
okay. Can you share with our audience and for future audience, streamers, watchers, a little bit about what the words are about?
Yeah, so Andi Musik literally means to wait, what was it again?
You're right, to music.
To music. And it's basically just how like in sad times, music can like bring you up. Like this, like I would people, this might be controversial, but like On the Music is a happy song because it's like bringing up the sad times with like music. So that was kind of like what I said about that.
Great, great. And I think in the times that we're hopefully coming out of, this might have been a perfect selection for you to choose, right? That you were able to make some music in this maddening time. So that's awesome. And I look forward to your Vivaldi coming up as well. Mr. Wolf, with all those students, I know you had other students involved in the festival too, participating in the festival. Will they be back as well? They're gonna be sharing. So at least some of them, or what's
So Abby Schwartz, who I think we're going to be seeing next week. She'll be she's doing Vanilla Ice Cream again, which she did our last time. Brandon will be competing again in voice and piano as well, and then also one of our band students here at Ramsey as well on trombone is competing again as well into the state festival.
Yeah, so just Mr. Wolf's alluding to we're going to be back together again next week as we feature the Gold 1-star students in music theater. And he's got a student from Ramsey back in that category as well. Annika, what do you tell the students that maybe don't feel like they're ready to participate in a festival? They might be a little intimidated or anxious about it. What's your advice to them? Do you have any advice for them?
Well, my advice would be I would just say just give it a try. You can because I was having doubts that I probably won't get in, but I just want to do it for fun. And so I just said it's also a fun thing because you're prepping for this, and it's also it's more also good for your voice because you can improve. It's not all about getting in. You can also improve by practicing and trying it for a competition because that's
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that. Did you get a chance, both of you, to listen to the feedback from Miss Lyons, from your vocal adjudicator?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And what did you think about that? Was it helpful? Did it support what your vocal teacher was already giving you and Mr. Wolf was giving you? What was the process?
Her commentary was really helpful because I actually played it back to my voice teacher and she said, yeah, this is what I keep on telling you to do this. So I was like, yeah, so it's a common thing that I need to improve on. So she definitely knows what she was talking about.
Yeah, I know that look that Mr. Wolf is giving us. I told you so. Just
I was reflecting on the fact that I'm pretty sure Brandon said exactly the same thing the last time we were on in here. Is he said it was the same thing a different way, and I said, oh, okay.
Yeah, you love it, right? It's a consultant.
It's very validating, isn't it?
Exactly. So, as a freshman, have you thought about what you want to pursue after high school? Is music in your blood and something you want to do forever? What's your plan, Annika?
Well, I always want I want to keep music as a hobby, and I'm not really sure if I want to go into a music major, but I want always to keep music in the back of my mind because I love to sing. I've sung for so long, so I always want to. I never want to stop doing it.
Awesome. Well, you definitely should. With that instrument, you can't let that go. Mr. Wolf, I know tonight you obviously had your honors recital or solo recital.
Outside.
Oh, okay. Well, you picked a beautiful night for it, I guess. It was a little. Did the rain hold off for you?
We were dodging raindrops for a little bit, but we were okay. We got a little delayed, but we got started right on time, about maybe 2 or 3 minutes late. And we had a great concert. We had a full program, so about an hour long.
Awesome.
Yep.
And what else is coming up at Ramsey? What would you like to share with us?
Sure. So we have all of our concerts here at Ramsey are outside to maintain social distancing, to keep safe. We're really fortunate in Ramsey that the district has allowed us to continue the performing arts and continue safely and effectively, where we've been able to offer these opportunities to students that are, they need these opportunities and they need these chances to perform. And so I'm very thankful to be at Ramsey here. We're keeping that as a major part of our experience for our students. So in about a month, on May 16th, we'll have our jazz concert, and we're combining actually the jazz groups here at the school. Jazz, I think we have a few jazz groups. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's 3 or 4. As well as our a cappella group here, which is the Ram Jams. They actually have their own accolades of recently winning their semifinals in ICHSAs. They just got into the finals of ICHSAs this past week, so that's really exciting. And yes, thank you. And so they'll be performing with the jazz band. We're doing a couple combined pieces, performances, as well as a couple separate stuff, all outside. We have a huge stage right in the very front of our building, and we did it tonight. We made it into a full thing. We actually have our musical coming up at the beginning of May as well. On May, it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I think it's 5, 6, 7, or 4, 5, 6, whatever that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is. Okay. So those 2 things in May, and then in June we're doing a full band and choir concert on June 3rd. All of them at 6 o'clock. So to keep the light out. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, the good news is, we're getting all this extra guidance now. The state is the Arts Ed New Jersey is affiliated of the National Federation of High Schools, and they've been really terrific in providing all this guidance. That's at least allowing us to continue where we can, right? And so communities like Ramsey and Cedar Grove, and that was on earlier, and Hillsborough, they've been able to sustain in this most challenging times their programs. Hopefully other administrations, other communities are paying attention and saying we can make music, we can have the performing arts. Like you said, the kids need it. We all need it.
And safely too. No documented, in the performing arts, there hasn't been any sort of
exactly. Yeah. So that's wonderful. Keep on keeping on, guys. I love it.
Thank you so much.
I look forward to your state level performance. Mr. Wolf, please give Brandon my best. And I will see you again next week when we showcase the Gold 1-Star Music Theater students. It was a pleasure to see you again and pleasure to meet you, Annika. I'm going to let you go and wrap up in a couple of seconds here with our final announcements, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Take care. All right, folks. So that was what a great night to hear those beautiful voices, right? Singing. We had some German, some Italian, 2 sides of Schubert in terms of his dedication to music, and the more lighthearted piece by Kelly from Hillsborough. Want to remind everybody, if you have any questions about upcoming challenges with festival registration or permission forms, that's my email address, Dennis@ArtsEd New Jersey. Here is the website for the repertoire and any of rules or regulations and protocols and uploading and the registration form, all the needs that you'll need to get your students registered for the Spring Festival, or if they're Gold 1-Star students, the State Festival, artsednj.org/festival. Even if you type that much, it'll get you to the site. That's the specific site. And we want to remind everybody that the registration deadline has been extended. Registration was supposed to close tomorrow at 11:59 p.m., tax day, April 15th. But my cell phone would be blinking if I didn't have it on mute. But we're getting a lot of registrations. Spring break delayed some folks from getting their paperwork done, and so we figured let's extend it to Sunday, the 18th at 11:59. That means if you still want a permission to have a selection performed that's not on the repertoire list, reach out to me ASAP, Dennis@ArtsEd New Jersey. I'll help you out with that. Scholarships are available. The scholarship form is on that website that I had up earlier. I'll put it back on to show you. The Grunin Foundation, I've mentioned earlier, have been very gracious in providing us with the abilities to not turn any students away because of lack of funds or a challenge with the registration fee. So all you have to do as a director is let us know this student is deserving of a scholarship. We'll make it happen, okay? Again, that's my email address. Join us next week at 7 p.m. for our next live stream, where we have the pleasure. I'll be talking to students from throughout the state who won Gold 1-Star ratings in the area of music theater. All right, so and hopefully I'll be able to coax them into singing for us and performing for us as well. All right, thank you again for joining us. My name is Dennis Argel, director of the Solo and Ensemble Festival at ArtsEd NJ, and it was a pleasure to see you again, and we'll see you again next week. Take care.